2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 17th of September and it's International Country Music Day. And a big happy birthday to Baz Luhrmann, Flo Rida, Anastasia and Ken Doherty.
7.
There were 26,911 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday and 158 additional deaths. Thursday saw Boris continue his reshuffle, this time at the more junior level, as Schools Minister Nick Gibb and John Whittingdale, the man who was supposed to sell Channel 4, got the heave-ho as the PM cleared out the old guard and made room for new and younger junior ministers. The fallout from Dominic out-of-office Raab's removal from Foreign Affairs continued, with Defence Secretary Ben Wallace suggesting that maybe the Ministry of Justice is a better fit for his skill set.
Dominic has been quoted as saying he's delighted to go to the Ministry of Justice. There's nothing better than being part of a department on a subject you know a lot about, that you're part of, and that you feel you can contribute to. Dominic understands the law, and that's pretty important if you're going to be the Lord Chancellor of this country.
And even as Liz Truss gets ready to book some out-of-office time now she's Foreign Secretary, former Attorney General Dominic Grieve has a to-do list for her and says the pressure in the role is significant.
It's impossible to say whether she will be successful or not. She's undoubtedly been successful at trade. She was a very unsuccessful Lord Chancellor and Secretary of State for Justice. The United Kingdom is losing friends at the moment internationally, and she's going to have to try to turn that round.
The brand new defence pact between Australia, the US and the UK, the brilliantly named AUKUS, has already run into criticism, but mainly from China, who described it as irresponsible and narrow-minded. The deal, which gives Australia access to nuclear submarines, could turn out to be hugely significant, according to Dr Neil Melvin, an international security expert at the Royal Services Institute.
This is a strategic shift, perhaps one of the biggest shifts that the United Kingdom has done in the last 30 years after Brexit, and is really about addressing China's rise and the balance of power that is shifting in the Indo-Pacific region.
Hashtag AUKUS has also annoyed the French as Australia cancelled its order of the old-fashioned diesel submarines that were being built in France. And Lord Ricketts, former UK ambassador to France, says they're not très happy.
This is a £50 billion contract that would have created a lot of jobs in France. But for me, the important thing is that France remains both a close ally of the UK and an important Western country in the Indo-Pacific region.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was in the UK on Thursday meeting with Boris on the Good Friday Agreement, then heading to Cambridge as a guest of the Cambridge Union, where she was the first international speaker to appear since the pandemic began. She was reluctant at first to talk about Donald Trump, who keeps suggesting he'll run for president in 2024, but Nancy doesn't seem too worried about that.
If he wants to run again, he'll be the first president who was impeached twice and defeated twice.
She did, however, have a strong message for moderate Republicans.
I'd say to my Republican friends, and I do have some, take back your party. You've done wonderful things. You've now been hijacked by a cult.
Thursday was a great news day for one man in particular, Piers Morgan. He got himself a new job. He signed a big deal with Rupert Murdoch, which will see him hosting a show on the brand new TV station called Talk TV in the UK from next year, which will also air on Fox News in the US and Sky News Australia. He'll also get a column in The Sun and the New York Post and a big picture of Meghan Markle for his office wall, probably. Let's hope his new TV launch goes better than the GB News launch, which saw Andrew Neil all excited just 3 months ago. And he's now left to be replaced by Nigel Farage.
What unites us is the firm belief that now is the time to do news differently. We will not lecture you or talk down, and nobody will be allowed to hector. Indeed, Hector has been banished from the studio.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Cedric the Entertainer's getting ready for the Emmys and tributes to inventor Sir Clive Sinclair, right after this.
You're listening to the Smart 7. If you're enjoying it, you might also like the Smart 7 Ireland edition. Just search and follow us on your favourite podcast platform. Thursday saw a busy night of Europa League action with 5 British clubs in the first round. West Ham managed a 2-0 away nil at Dynamo Zagreb, Spurs drew in France with Rennes, while Real Betis beat Celtic 4-3 in Spain. Leicester could only manage a draw with Napoli, and Rangers lost 2-0 to French side Lyon. Spurs manager Nuno Espirito Santos wasn't too pleased to only get a draw.
I'm worried, naturally. I should not share with you. This is not the moment, but just to be honest, I think the boys did well because it's tough.
It was West Ham's first European group stage game, and Declan Rice, who scored a wonder goal, was delighted with their 2-0 away win.
You know, last year we worked so hard, to achieve this, and, we didn't want to let the fans down tonight. We knew we had a tough game to come out here, first one, and we had to get the 3 points for ourselves, but also for the travelling fans, and, they've been amazing.
This Sunday night sees the 73rd primetime Emmys celebrate the best of TV. Will Ted Lasso clean up? Will The Crown and The Mandalorian turn their nominations into awards? Who knows, but the ceremony is going to be hosted by showbiz legend Cedric the Entertainer. He's promising a celebratory tone rather than the Ricky Gervais mean joke style of recent years. He was on with James Corden chatting all things Emmy, and it sounds like he got his name from his hospitality policy at home.
My wife has a big thing of letting people live with us for some reason. So I'll just wake up and it's just random people in my home. It's like a bed and breakfast, It's like, really? I'll just come downstairs and it'll be like, hey, there'll be some couple from Maine. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Are you sure it's not Airbnb?
Tom, and this is my wife, Margaret. And I'm like, hello, guys. Do you know where the sugar is?
The death has been announced of inventor Sir Clive Sinclair after a long illness. He was 81. He first found fame and success by inventing the pocket calculator, but it was the dawn of home computing that really saw him make his mark. The ZX Spectrum was cheap, cheerful, and introduced the concept of computer games to many. It was one of his other inventions, the Sinclair C5, that brought his empire close to collapse. It was a revolutionary electric vehicle, but probably ahead of its time in 1985. Rest in peace, Sir Clive.
Imagine a vehicle that can drive you 5 miles for a penny. A vehicle that needs no petrol, just a battery. And that takes the press of a button to start, the squeeze of a lever to stop. That needs no license, no road tax, and you can drive whether you're 14 or 40.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.